Good morning, my queens, gentlemen who are watching. I wanted to welcome you, and our first topic is going to be on self-love and self-acceptance. We cannot start, these deep conversations and engagement without, spending time talking about what is the best way to love and accept fully ourselves. And my first invitation is to recognize your presence as something that is very valuable. Know that you exist and you're created for a very good reason, and that your life has a purpose. And one of the ways to start recognizing that your presence matters is that you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror when you're getting ready, when you're applying your makeup, or you're brushing your teeth. Say to yourself, I love and accept myself exactly as I am, because I'm here for a very good reason, and my presence offers much more value to the collective humanity. And then also start recognizing that you are worthy of a good life. When you recognize that you are very deserving of a good life, then you put your mind at creating that particular good life. And my second invitation is to cultivate gratitude for your body. And when I'm talking about the body, I'm not talking about the physical beauty, the appearance necessary. I know they're also important, but I'm talking about your body and its functions. How are you celebrating that you have a body that is healthy, that is taking you to places? Your legs are carrying you around your day. You can be able to go to work. Your brain is allowing you to think and be able to earn a living, actually, as someone who thinks and who is operating in this digital economy. And stop criticizing yourself. You cannot say that you are loving of yourself if you do criticize yourself. There has to be a minimum level of self-reflection. I do agree. We do make mistakes, and we have to reflect on how these mistakes do have impact on our lives and other people's lives. But we cannot question our essence and our existence just because we've made the mistakes. So that level of self-criticism has to be extremely minimal, and it has to be objective in the sense that I'm reflecting on actions that I have had or made that had implication on other people, but it doesn't have to question who we are, the essence of who we are. So really that invitation of stop criticizing yourself is the biggest highlight of this message, because that's how you then end up stepping into those steps of saying, I know that I'm human, mistakes are human, but I'm not gonna judge and criticize and condemn myself for being a human being. And once we now started to narrow down that voice of self-critique, then we step into healing our past emotional wounds. We cannot say that we are functioning as a healthy individual if we haven't recognized experiences, words, and people who might have hurt us in the past. It can be our parents, our guardians, the people who raised that. It can be even our siblings, our cousins, the people we went to school to, even the education system itself. Really, we have to make sure that we are naming our emotional wounds from childhood. As the most we can ever be able to remember, we have to recognize them and recognize how they feel, recognize that they have sometimes messed up our childhood. And once we do that, we have to go into a place of grieving, accept that we've been changed and wronged by those particular emotions and experiences, and sometimes can be a serious abuse that we have experienced. You need to say these things have really wounded me, and I give them a name, and I know I didn't deserve to be treated the way I have been treated. And then you start stepping into forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for enduring that and not be able to be in the position to protect yourself, but also start forgiving people who have really wronged you. And then you get to release that emotional weight. You let it go slowly, one experience after the other, because this act does help you to really free yourself from resentment or self-blame and start creating that space of self-love. And talking about creating a space of love, you have to have a love relationship with your inner child. So the inner child is that person you were when you were 3 to 6 years old. It can be your 6-year-old boy or 6-year-old girl or 3 years old, and say, I'm here for you. Maybe I haven't been able to be there for you when we were children, but now I am here to protect you, to defend you, to really help you raise any form of deep-seated fears or insecurity, so that we can function as people who believe that we are safe, or we are loved, we are accepted, and we are enough. and we are protected. I think it is your responsibility as your adult self to say, there's a small child inside of me who is afraid. I'm going to offer them the protection, the care that they need and deserve. So that really can start now to reconnect the parts of you that feel neglected from childhood, or even unloved or unattended. And then as you do that, you focus on nurturing self-compassion. Whenever you make a mistake, mistakes are human, we all make mistakes. Whenever you make mistake, when you are nurturing self-compassion, you apply kindness on it. You forgive yourself as quick as possible, but also where it's needed, you take action. Is that action asking for forgiveness, for an apology? Do that so that you can repair your mistake in the most noble way that you can. But when you do make a mistake, just offer yourself that level of kindness. Ask yourself, if it was my friend who is telling me a mistake that they've made, what would I tell them in that particular situation? And start telling yourself those exact words. And extend that real kindness and understanding to yourself. I know you do it for other people, but also bring that same amount of love towards yourself. And then after that, you start now being much more aware of your limiting beliefs. And then you say, I've inherited maybe these fears from my parents. I've inherited maybe these beliefs and limiting beliefs from the people who raised me, or the economy I grew up in. There are so many fears that come into the way. Just find a way of saying, I'm creating a life of abundance and a good life for myself. And I know there are always going to be limitations, but these are the limitations that I am aware of, and I'm working on them to let them go, to challenge them, both consciously and subconsciously. And we are going to be, talking in other episodes how then do we change our subconscious mind. But you have to embrace that there are those beliefs that we get from our families, and so many components that we end up interacting with in our lifetime, and say, I'm going to challenge how they are limiting the creation of the life that I deserve for myself, and that offer you a certain sense of freedom as you continue to evolve into being the highest definition of yourself. And then you engage after that into rituals that help you now to say, this is how I'm nurturing my self-love and my self-acceptance on a very regular basis, because it's not like what you say on one day, on a Monday or New Year's Day. It's what you do on a very, very regular basis that allows you now to feel, I'm consistently taking care of myself as much as I'm extending my kindness, my abundance to other people, but you also know that you are part of the equation of the people that you are taking care of. Then you start doing that over and over. At the beginning, it's very challenging because you are now, trying to have a new operating system, a new thinking system, and to be able to change that, you are going to say, I'm going to do this over and over because I respect myself and I respect the life that I am building for myself, and I want to live and die knowing that, I have mattered. In my own life, I've offered myself value, I've offered myself acceptance, love, opportunities. I challenged myself, I grew out of my mistakes. And to be able to do that, you have to continuously do those, little rituals that allow you to now say, okay, I'm doing this because I love myself. I'm celebrating myself. Is it, dancing? Is it playing? Is it singing? Is it playing tennis? Is it going to church? Is it spending time with the people that you love? Whatever it is that you like allows you to feel that you are taking good care of yourself, just do it. And the final step that I would like to invite you to do is now to say, I'm going to design a life of abundance, where now I intentionally set goals that will get me to the next level. And we do not do that because we are comparing ourselves and our lives to other people's. We are just doing it because we know we deserve better. We respect the life, the gift of life that we've received, and we are going to co-create, a life of abundance. And start designing that. Is it a vision board? Is it a journal? Say, I love the life that I have, and I deserve love and abundance in all forms. You can now start visualizing yourself succeeding in one area or the other. And these have to be just, elements that are connected to the soul that lives in you. It doesn't have to be connected to what other people are doing and should be doing. It has to connect to things that you value as you. So those are the invitations that I wanted to extend to you today. Let me know which ones have resonated with you, and until next time, take very good care of yourself, and let me know how you are evolving on this journey of accepting the gifts of life that you inherited. Thank you very much. Bye.